Good afternoon, everyone. I am Arushi, and on behalf of Aircel and Micromax, I welcome you all here today. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out and being here. Aircel is one of India's leading telecom operators with 2G and 3G operations, and Micromax is one of India's leading handset manufacturers. Today, the two companies have come together to announce a one-of-its-kind strategic partnership. To talk more about this in detail, we have with us Mr. Anupam Vasudev, Chief Marketing Officer, Aircel. Sir, may I please request you to take your seat? We have with us Mr. Vikas Jain, co-founder Micromax. Sir. And we're also joined by Mr. Sunil K, Vice President Marketing, Aircel. To talk about this partnership in detail, Sir, I would like to request you to please share the details. We have with us Mr. Anupam Vasudev, Chief Marketing Officer, Aircel.
A very good afternoon to all of you. A very warm welcome to each one of you from behalf of Aircel. I'm very privileged to get a chance to talk to you about what's happening with Aircel and what this whole partnership is all about today. I think the focus we have in the telecom industry in the last couple of years been talking about that data is going to be the new future for the business. Voice is saturated and data is going to start growing dramatically. And this talk has been going on for a while, but the good news now is that we can almost see that happening. There is significant changes in consumer trends, significant changes in the business results, which we are seeing, which is now suggesting that the data business is starting to really take off for operators. And I'm going to spend a few minutes really talking about that and then help explain to you why we are doing what we are doing. As he said, like in India, even globally, the data business has been starting to grow dramatically. In fact, in the globally, about 75% market is growing at about 75% year on year. And obviously, India, because of its low penetration today, is growing at double the rate. So clearly, data is growing very fast, but the base is small yet. However, a couple of changes we can already see start happening today. First, of course, that as we're saying, we're going double that rate of the market globally. Second, is bulk of the growth in data is happening through mobile phones. And mobile connectivity is what's driving the growth. 50% of the growth in the industry is coming in from mobile phones, and probably it will grow even faster as years goes by. The other important part to understand is the way consumers are using the mobile phones is also changing dramatically. And that helps explain why data will become bigger and bigger. If you look at an average smartphone consumer today, he only spends 20% of his time talking on the phone. 80% of his time is spent on doing things with the phone, which could include browsing, working on the net, playing games, both offline and online, using apps. So you can almost start happening that the consumer is spending nearly 80% of his time on data-related stuff. And automatically, that is the consumer time of 1:5 which is being spent. Now, this is a clear example that where the consumer and where the market will grow as the smartphone penetration grows up. The other myth which people have is that data is an urban phenomenon. It gets consumed only in metro markets. But that's also starting to change. It's starting to growing in small towns pretty rapidly. And one of the clear reasons why this is happening, and you can see it develop in the next couple of years even more strongly, is really the growth of video. Like in print industry, television jump-started and suddenly many people were watching television. Same is happening in data today. Till internet was about Google, searches, social messaging, the consumption of internet was limited. But once data is about video consumption, watching TVs, movies, songs, there is no barrier. Education is no barrier, language is no barrier. Suddenly, a huge mass of India will now be able to access and consume content. And that's what's happening in the market as we speak today. So, first, clearly, smartphones are going to proliferate. 60% of the market will become smartphones. Smartphones allow better consumption of video. India is a market where people don't understand languages as well. Video will make sure we jump that barrier, and suddenly you find that the data market will explode in no time to come. So clearly, 4 or 5 things which we see are emerging. First, as I said, people are starting to consume media across different phones, across different screens. Media is no longer limited to television. It's on smartphones, it's on PCs, it's everywhere. Second, with the advent of smartphones, TVs are becoming more social, or the content is becoming more social. So people are engaging and talking and communicating to each other. We found in many parts of the market where we've done research is that consumers are actually doing things together. A lot of people, in fact, many people in this room itself, while watching TV, while consuming content, would be on the net, would be on the phone. Even while I'm speaking here today, I'm sure many of you are on the phone. So phone is almost becoming the time where people are doing it as a parallel activity. We're discovering in stages where even consumers are having their dinner, having lunch, are on the phone. So phone is almost becoming part of a 24/7 activity, and that is not about connecting or talking to people only. It's about therefore using an app, playing a game, watching a song. All that is happening parallelly as we speak, including watching and communicating about a show or a song or a thing which you like about. Clearly, we can see, therefore, the internet usage, which was, earlier nearly about we're finding that every 6 months, about 7 to 8% of new people are coming in, starting to use the internet. We have increasing demand of smartphones. Therefore, that means that customers are able to consume the data. People want bigger screens, as we can see 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch screens being sold, which means they're therefore able to consume more data, would like to consume more content, becoming more easy to consume. The prices are dropping dramatically. May not be so in the next few months because of dollar appreciation, but otherwise prices of smartphones have become down dramatically from a 30,000 rupee phone to 6,000 rupee phones. So people can afford it. More and more people can afford it. And of course, the prices of data have come down between 3G, between what it was earlier. So prices coming down, screens becoming smaller, being more accessible to everybody. So what does it all tie up to? It all ties up the fact that people are going to consume and use data far more aggressively than they have done in the past. And where does Aircel come in all this? I think from up as a brand, Aircel, in the last, when we set up the company many months ago as well, we started off this whole philosophy of pocket internet. The company was founded on the concept that internet will be the future for the telecom industry. And we launched the first pocket internet product in the market. And since then, we have continued to build on that whole principle. So whether it is about launching internet recharges, launching even accessible internet to customers at less than 1 rupee a day watching internet, or the concept of free 3G mornings, where we give customers in between 6 to 9 a.m. in the morning free 3G access to really try out and sample 3G content and 3G business, which was done in many markets in this country. All this was to increase the adoption of internet and usage of data in the marketplace. Of course, apps were developed on specific gaming packs, specific text and surf packs, and we also recently launched a mobile books app store called Bookmate, which allows you to look through and browse through all magazines, all content on your phone itself. So that is accessible right away. In the ecosystem of growing data, we have to work with alliance and partners. An operator can't work on its own. And we believe that, and we strongly believe that that's the way we will be able to develop a healthy ecosystem which will serve the customer's interests in the long term. And that's why we worked with content partners, because it is not just about communicating, it's about content. That's what data is. Data is not about communication, it's about content as well. So we worked with partners like Wikipedia, where we launched a zero-rated Wikipedia product such that customers on Aircel could access Wikipedia free of cost. We also launched Yahoo recharges many years ago, and we launched MSN Pack. So we have done kind of alliances on that front. And today, we'll talk about one such other partnership. We know that building the data business is the future. We know we can't do it alone. We know we need to work with strong partners who will help us in this journey of growing the business. And one such partner is Micromax for us. And today we'll talk about what we are doing with them. As I said, the market is moving towards consumption of content on the internet. 3G is building up, is growing. And we'll talk about how we are working with Micromax to really accelerate that customer experience in the coming months in the Planet Forward. So with that, I'll request Sunil to come and share with you what really is the plan and what really we're doing with Micromax in this approach. Thank you.
थैंक्स अनुपम। तो मैं हिंदी में और इंग्लिश में मिल के बात करूँगा। और सबसे पहले मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कि मेरा नाम सुनील के नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट आरुषि इंट्रोड्यूस मी, सुनील के। जब भी ट्रेन में टिकट बुक करता हूँ मैं लिखता हूँ सुनील के, वो सुनील कुमार बना देते हैं, और मेरा नाम कुमार नहीं है, मेरा नाम है सुनील कुट्टम। पूरा नाम है सुनील कुट्टम परमबत्तिल, जैसे वो अग्निपथ में विजय दीनानाथ चौहान है, तो सुनील कुट्टम परमबत्तिल। आप प्यार से सुनील कुट्टम तक जाते हैं, बट सुनील के पे मत रुकिएगा, दैट्स माई रिक्वेस्ट। अब कमिंग टू द अलायंस, सो वी स्पीकिंग अबाउट अलायंस बिटवीन माइक्रोमैक्स एंड एयरसेल। व्हाट्स इंपॉर्टेंट अबाउट अलायंस? पिछले 10-12 साल से there's been a lot of alliances happening. Many big service providers have been tying up with handset providers and giving alliances. So what is so different about this alliance that we are calling all respected journalists here and announcing it? See, the most important part of this alliance, which has not been done in telecom industry till date, is the fact that जब भी कोई alliance होता है, we tell the customer कि there is an alliance between, let's say, for the sake of argument, a Nokia and Airtel. So the consumer, once he has this alliance, if he wants to get the benefit, he has to first either go to a showroom and say कि मुझे ये benefit दो, or they'll say alliance तो है, benefits भी है, but you have to recharge it 200 rupees, which is sometimes getting lost in the fine print. Sometimes they say please SMS AX22394 through A. So consumer does not know what to do. So this is the first time that because of our technological advances, this alliance is unique, because the moment the customer buys a Micromax handset and he puts our SIM inside, automatically our intelligent network will identify कि ये नया handset है, customer आया है, and the benefits get loaded onto him automatically. So the consumer does not actually have to do anything much. So he just has to put the SIM inside the handset, which all of you know how it's done, and automatically the benefits come in. So we are ensuring that customer को बिल्कुल कोई झंझट और दिक्कत ना हो. All he has to do is handset खोला, SIM डाला, benefit अंदर. So important, इसमें क्या है, and why is this alliance happening? So Micromax, as all of you know, is now become the number 2 handset player in India. So they become, right next to Samsung, they're the biggest in India. Aircel is somebody which has been doing a lot of innovation primarily in data. So we thought this alliance is going to go a long way, because most of the phones which are getting sold are smartphones. And also within smartphones, the quality is a very important perspective. For example, the kind of material you use, which are the chipsets. There's a company called Qualcomm which makes the best possible chipsets. There's a technology in your display. Is it a very sensitive kind of a display, or पिछले ज़माने का display था, touch screen तो होता था, लेकिन उसको लेके हथौड़ा लेके मारते थे, then it starts working. So all this is where technology is taking us, where the consumer is becoming more and more, I mean, his needs are becoming more and more relevant, and companies are working very hard to ensure that customer का जो preference है, what his expectations are met by companies like Aircel and Micromax. So Micromax brings in cutting-edge technology. You know, all of you know, they have been launching a set of Canvas phones, Canvas 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the latest phone. It's on display here, and the tablet. So these are the latest in terms of technology with the Jelly Bean kind of a operating system. Aircel has been doing multiple innovations in data. Pocket Internet was launched first time by Aircel, which is like equivalent to a chota recharge. All of you do recharges in Airtel, Vodafone, Tata, for the 10 rupees, 20 rupees. This is the first time Aircel launched a chota recharge in data, which is called Pocket Internet. And that has now become the standard across the industry. It has been copied by all the telecom players. Aircel also is extremely innovative. We have done something called 3G mornings, which I think Anupam mentioned in his passing, which is that across the country, we said customers को एक 3G का experience दिया जाए free of cost. We will not charge them any money. So in all the circles where we have 3G, we had given them customers just a simple way by which they can have 3G in the morning from 6 to 9, so that they know what 3G is, what speeds it works. And this offer was not for a day or two, for a month. So any customer could just avail free 3G benefits, or in some cases 2G benefits for a month, just by availing this, by telling us that we need this offer. So what is the objective? Why are we trying to focus on data? See, the reason we are trying to focus on data is because all of us understand data as MB, GB, etc. But the normal customer hai, he sees data differently. For him, data could be a movie. For him, data could be just a song. For him, it could be browsing on Facebook. So what we are saying is, agar consumer ko Facebook chahiye, gaane chahiye, or video chahiye, then why not give him what he wants rather than saying ki aapko 1 GB data free milega. So this alliance is primarily, like I said, one, it's unique because consumer is completely treated as king. We ensure that he gets all the benefits without working for the benefits. And two, we are giving him not just free data, but we are also giving him the best possible content free of cost so that he can experience the latest movies, the latest songs, all of them, and latest games, latest wallpapers, download them free of cost, start using it, experiencing it, and then becoming a data consumer. So it's working towards a larger cause of expanding data in India. Specifically, what are the offers that we'll be giving? So principally, we have divided the entire portfolio of Micromax into 3. One is the smartphones, which is the biggest in terms of growth. 2 are feature phones, and 3 are dongles. Dongles are the data sticks which you have. Each of them, we have given them a specific kind of benefit, primarily targeted at ensuring that the consumer can experience latest technology speeds, latest possible content in a very convenient manner. So important point to note here is that we are not only giving data free, we are also ensuring that we give him the best possible voice tariff. So as on date, if you see the default tariff, which is normal tariff, it's like 1.2 paise per second, 1.5 paise per second across various circles. In our case, we are giving half paise per second. And that is in a per second kind of billing. So it will ensure that this is the best possible tariff which is also happening. So a superb tariff in voice, free data, and most important, content free. Content matlab the latest possible gaane, latest possible movies. We can download songs of Fata Posto Nikla Hero, in that kind of, in the latest possible songs. All of them are completely free of cost given for the particular consumer. So, like I mentioned, we are talking about when we speak to the consumer, there will definitely be some kind of communication, which may be in the form of a press ad, which may be in the form of digital advertising, which will happen, trying to educate the consumers on this. It will be talking primarily about, for example, we're giving 1 month of TV free. There are top 102 channels. The consumer can decide which channels he wants and get it completely free of cost. Data usko 2 GB mil chuka hai. He's getting a TV free of cost. So essentially, he can experience a mobile TV completely at a FOC kind of level and see the benefits. And then if he's interested, going forward after 3 months' time, he can continue to buy it. So before we finish, I was told by our PR team here that after this, there is a question and answer session hota hai. So normally press conference के बाद, तो मैंने कहा अच्छा है भैया हम सवाल पूछ लेंगे आपसे, आप आंसर दे दीजिए. So we'll have a small question and answer session where I'll be asking the questions and I need answers from the group. So can I request Vivek to please set up the questions here. Now before. The good news here is that normally आप लोग सवाल हमसे पूछते हैं, हमें आंसर देना पड़ता है, उसके बाद हमें वापस कुछ मिलता नहीं है. So the slight twist here is that मैं सवाल पूछूंगा, सिर्फ 3 सवाल, और मेरे पास 3 गिफ्ट हैं. ये गिफ्ट भी अच्छे खासे गिफ्ट हैं. तीनों माइक्रोमैक्स से फोन्स हैं. माइक्रोमैक्स के कॉन्फ्रेंस पे माइक्रोमैक्स के फोन ही मिलेंगे आपको. तीनों माइक्रोमैक्स से फोन्स हैं और इसमें 3 कंडीशन भी है. कंडीशन नंबर 1, मैं सवाल पूछूंगा, आप हाथ उठाएंगे. किसी ने अगर सवाल का आंसर वैसे ही दे दिया, उसका फ़ोन मैं ले लूँगा. कंडीशन नंबर 2, अगर आधा सवाल सही हुआ, सिर्फ बैटरी मिलेगी, बाकी फ़ोन मैं घर ले जाऊँगा. तो या तो पूरा सवाल सही या फिर आंसर मत देना. एंड कंडीशन नंबर 3, आई एम द गाय हु हैज़ द फोन्स, तो मेरा डिसीजन फाइनल. ये नहीं कि भैया मैंने आधा सवाल दिया, थोड़ा मुझे भी दो, वरना मेरे को फ़ोन बांट के आधा करके एंटेना किसी को, फ़ोन किसी को, डिस्प्ले किसी को देना पड़ेगा. तो So can I please request the phones here so that 3 सवाल है sir and 3 questions. So there are 3 possible answers. Third question is most critical. So third question में आपको एक canvas 4 मिलेगा. Questions are not very simple. It's first time that we are doing a press conference जहाँ पे हम आपसे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, but nevertheless at least add some excitement. वो कोने वाले भाई साहब सो गए थे, उनको उठाने के लिए मैं कर रहा हूँ. So anyway, just 2 minutes. So it's not here. First click. One click. So first question is what is M3 plus M3? इसको आंसर पता है, हाथ उठाएगा, मैं उसके पास आऊँगा, आंसर देगा, और फिर मैं उसको फ़ोन दूंगा. और गलत आंसर दिया तो फ़ोन ले भी लूँगा. Guys, anybody? What is M3 plus M3? And by the way, अगर किसी एयरसेल के और माइक्रोमैक्स के एम्प्लॉय ने अगर जवाब दिया तो हम उसको बाहर निपट लेंगे. Anybody? I can give you a hint for this. M3 means 3 million. So it is 3 million plus 3 million. कोई महारथी बोलेगा 6 million, वो मुझसे पिटेगा. You guys in the green shirt.
Data consumption estimate for this year.
आपका फोन कौन से? Wrong answer. One more gentleman here.
3 million handsets from Micromax and 3 million data customers for Aircel.
Congratulations, fantastic. And may I know your name, please? So this Anshul Kapoor gets this phone. Congratulations. So we're talking about 6 million happy subscribers every month. तो हर महीने Micromax 3 million phone बेचता है, हम 3 million connection बेचते हैं. तो 6 million लोग हैं जो कि हर महीने we are touching in some way or other. And this is what we want to convert into happy customers, giving them this content and this offering. So next question, and the phone becomes better. Huh? So this is the easy question, so chota phone. Next is the bigger question, bigger phone. Canvas 2 phone. What is NLA and JOLE? Before you answer, this is not short form for Angelina Jolie. So it is N.L.A and J.AOLNE. Anybody? थोड़ा सर घुमा के देखिए, आंसर इसी रूम में है. ओके, बैटरी आपका, बाकी बताना पड़ेगा सर, मैं तो एयरसेल का हूँ. So I think I'll take an exception. It's absolutely right. Nothing like anything is Micromax tagline, and Aircel tagline is joy of little extra. So it's like जब कुछ extra मिलता है तो अच्छा लगता है. अभी हम data दे रहे हैं, voice दे रहे हैं, free में content भी दे रहे हैं, which is 1000 movies, some 6 lakh songs, games and wallpaper. So this canvas fun is yours. Congrats. Can I have it?
Praveen from Teleanalysis.
The last question, most critical, why we are here. What is this which makes this partnership unique? इसका आंसर मुझे एक ही चाहिए, हाथ उठा के बताइएगा. I got that. सर आपके बगल वाले का फोन तो गया, लगता है आपका भी जाने वाला.
This is the first time when the partnership is about internet connection along with the telecom service provider rather than a normal voice connection.
नहीं सर, ये सही आंसर नहीं है. मैम, लेडी फर्स्ट.
I'd say what makes this partnership unique is it provides a one-stop shop for the buyer in terms of providing services. There's no fuss, no muss. It's buy the phone, get the services of Airtel. You're tied up.
You're 90% correct, but that's good enough for me. So what makes this partnership unique is no fuss, no muss is a nice word I can use in the future. 100% customer gets it free of cost. He doesn't have to bother, he doesn't have to pay, he doesn't have to do an inch. Open phone, puts him inside, get benefit. And that's the biggest part of this, and that's something which I want each of you to understand, which is we are making the consumer's life very simple. पहले क्या था कि उसको GPRS सेटिंग करो, उसके बाद जब तक डेटा चलता नहीं है, he'll call up the call center, no hassle, no fuss. And before the lady tells me, I need to give her the phone first. And this is a canvas 4 for the lady. Congratulations. Please, let's wave.
My name is Penny McRae. I'm from AFP.
So this is the last point. And now I think I'll also give you guys to ask some questions after Mr. Vikas takes us through his small bit about Micromax.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think between Anupam and Sunil, we covered most of the benefits of the consumer that we are expecting from the alliance. I would just like to, probably take 5 more minutes of yours before we throw the dice open to questions and tell you why we are coming together. If you see globally, there's been mass adoption of smartphones, and the operators, especially in the developed countries like the US and the Europe, have been spearheading this effort. What happens typically in these countries are that the ARPUs, or the average revenue per user, is very, very high. Therefore, the operator subsidizes the handset, gets the handset at a subsidized cost to the consumer, and then asks them to pay up for the plan charges, and over a periodic contract, the cost of the handset is subsidized. In India, the ARPU for the operators is not so high for them to subsidize the device cost. I mean, we are talking about ARPUs less than $3. Approximately around $3 is the ARPU. For the operator to subsidize the cost of the handset on these ARPUs is kind of making them bleed. So between do something like this, but definitely we have to make a financial sense, and we have to get the approvals of the various CFOs and the vice presidents finances from both the companies before we do this. So when the think time of the two companies sat together, they came out with something like this, wherein we said, instead of subsidizing the hardware cost, we will subsidize the experience cost. So now you're getting the handset at the same price that you get it in the market, but over and above that, you're getting free data, you're getting free content in terms of maybe the movies, the videos, the audios, or even the television for that matter. And cumulative of these benefits is worth about approximately 10,000 rupees or more. The beauty of this alliance is that the offer is extended on all the Aircel recharges over and above that. So if in case you're recharging by, let's say, a 35 or a 40 rupee recharge, you're still getting this 10,000 rupee benefit available to you over and above whatever you got in your 35 or 40 rupees. If you're buying a Micromax 2,000 rupee handset, still you're getting benefits worth more than 10,000 rupees. So over here, it's not an intent to show you that the cost of the handset is kind of being marked up by the amount of benefits we are extending. The intent is very simple. We are over here not trying to, fool or cheat the consumer and make him believe on a proposition. We are saying the offer is standard. Any recharge, any device. Neither are we talking about the cost of the device, neither are we talking about the value of the recharge. You're getting the same benefit. So a 2,000 rupee handset with a 35 rupee recharge still gets 10,000 rupee worth of benefit. That's in short what I wanted to tell you. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. In light of the two companies coming together, I would now like to request Mr. Vasudev, Mr. Jain, and Mr. Kutum to step forward for the photo opportunity that we have created for our media friends here. I would like to request all the photographers to kindly come closer to the stage and take photographs. Can I have the placard, please? as we open the floor for questions. I would request the panel to take questions one by one. So, shall we start? Yes, this gentleman on the second table.
The question can be answered by anyone, but the question is essentially about marketing. You have entered into a new agreement, and obviously you're going to market it among consumers. I just want to know how you're going to go about marketing this, and how are you going to share the marketing costs?
See, the idea over here is not to create a marketing buzz. The idea, as I said earlier also, the idea is over here to give a consumer experience. So there's going to be a lot of on-ground activities that will happen jointly by the two brands. It's more of consumer awareness that we are trying to create. It's not a media headline that we are trying to create. And if you see the way the entire proposition is structured, we would like a lot of this to move by word of mouth. I mean, as a consumer, if you get benefited, the idea is you're bound to tell it to your friend that something like this is there. Obviously, at the retail level and all, we'll be doing a lot of awareness campaigns, but as such, making high decibel news and all, that's not what we are interested in.
Next question. We'll come back to you. Okay.
I'm Prasoon from PTI. I would just like to have an idea as a layman. You're giving 2 GB data per month free, 2G and 3G network. So if a user have to download a movie, how long would this data limit last? 3G on 3G network.
So to put things in perspective, a good movie, the fairly good resolution, is around 60 MB on a mobile phone, if you have a 4-inch phone. So essentially what you're saying is that with the 2 GB data per month, you can actually watch a movie every day on your phone and not pay for it. So, and if you're talking about a thing like songs, in one song is approximately 3.5 MB. So we can talk about approximately some 600-700 songs, around 20 songs a day, and enjoy the song at no extra cost. So, and having said that, another point I would like to quote is that the average usage by a 3G subscriber, all India, is around 650 MB of usage per month. So this is approximately 3 times that. I'm talking about average usage across for India. So it's around 3 times of that we're offering. So we are trying to give you a lot more so that you can enjoy a lot more.
Praveen Prashant from Teleanalysis. My question is, the press release talks about 12,000 per month, whereas your bundle scheme talks about rupees 10,000 for 3 months. So I want to get a clarification on that part. Is it 12,000 per month or is it 12,000 for 3 months?
See, there are 2 types of benefits. What we are saying is that the content which you are getting free of cost is 10,000, plus there's additional benefit of 2,000 because we're also giving you tariff benefits, we're giving you 6 GB data free. So the value of that bundle is another 2,000. So essentially,
then it would be 12,000 for 3 months.
It is 12,000 for 3 months, yes.
But the press release talks about 12,000 per month.
That's right. So what you're saying is, what we explained to you here is 10,000 of content plus more benefits. The more benefits is like 6 GB of data, 2 GB per month for 3 months, half paisa, which is the best possible voice tariff. So all that is obviously built into the costings. So we are essentially giving you 12,000 rupees of benefit, which includes 10,000 of content.
For 3 months?
For 3 months.
And after that?
After that, the consumer, see the reason we are doing this is to give the consumer an experience of a 3G experience and also an experience of trying to experience our network, both for voice clarity and in terms of 3G usage. After that, the consumer is free to select whatever plan that he wants.
See, it's purely experiential, right? Between the two brands, we are very confident about our product offerings, Aircel of their network and Micromax of the device. The idea is to make the consumer experience the device capabilities in terms of the hardware and the, the speed throughput of the network of Aircel. So it's a 3-month promotion. It's like, when you go and buy an automobile, right? If you're buying a car, you're made to go through that test drive and then you decide which car you want to take. Over here, we are letting you own the car for 3 months before you decide whether you want to take this or not.
The second part is with respect to the channel that you are going to share the channel for both. So the Micromax channel part is being written in the press release, but if you can talk about Aircel, how many channels?
So what we are talking about when you say share the channel is that we have, obviously Micromax has huge channel, 1.25 lakh outlets. We have another channel more than around 2 lakh outlets. So what will happen is our total channel is how many outlets? 4 lakh outlets. So we have, sorry? I think the number of cities. Sorry? So we're talking about, see, we have 2G as well as 3G. So this is across the country that we're talking about. So whatever circles you're present in, we are there in all the circles. We give data in all of the circles. So just to answer your question as to whether it's what is the channel overlap, this communication has been downloaded to the entire Micromax channel as well as entire Aircel channel. So anybody who's buying an Aircel connection gets the information that with any Micromax phone, he gets these benefits. Anybody buying a Micromax phone gets that with all the Micromax phones, he gets the Aircel benefits. So both these channels, and plus we also have people called in-shop promoters, which Micromax has as well as Aircel has. All of them are giving communication to the consumer about these benefits.
Can we have the next question, please?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Sunny Sen from Business Today. Here. So I was just wondering, since Aircel is being such a benevolent partner in this case, giving everything for free, and Micromax is getting the entire money while the phone is being bought, wondering if later on, after the partnership starts happening, once the user starts using Aircel on a Micromax phone, are you giving back something to Aircel?
So it's not benevolence in any form. It's the objective was to drive data sampling. So I don't know if you noticed, but I had mentioned about 3G mornings. So we are very benevolent in giving free 3G to the entire consumer base, which is around 6 crore consumer base of us. And the impact of that is that more and more consumers, when they experience it, they come onto the network.
Right.
So this is more of a strategic level partnership. It doesn't have too many financial implications on that. It's normal. It's in our terminology, it's called an RHBO offer, a reverse handset bundled offer.
Right.
That's what it's called.
Right.
So that's what we're just giving this benefit across.
So in this case, why is the partner only Micromax? Why not any other handset manufacturer in this case?
Yeah, Sunny. So I think it's the core TG between the two brands, which is of effervescence. And if you see, Micromax and Aircel put together have always been very youth focused. So
Right.
while we acquire our set of consumers by offering them the hardware, the idea is if the same set of consumer who's also the TG of Aircel can get onto the Aircel network, that's the whole essence of the partnership. And for the consumer, why he should do this? There's enough and plenty available for him to experience and with no commitments. So what we are trying to say is you have this thing. If you can find anything better, you're still allowed to go on that. So there is no locking of the bundle.
Sure.
Thank
Let me add to this question. I think why we're doing this and why we're being so benevolent from your point of view. See, the biggest challenge, Aircel is a challenger brand. In the sense that in most markets except a couple of markets like TN, we are the 5th or the 6th operator in those markets. Micromax is a brand which is upgrading customers and getting a lot of new customers, existing customers to buy new phones. And we want, when they're buying new phones, to churn from their current operator to this operator. And that is the objective we are intending to do, is that when he buys a Micromax phone in markets like Delhi or in Calcutta or in these places, he will buy an Aircel SIM along with that. So our objective is to churn competition with this offer. It is not, and by giving a 3-month sampling with this benefit. That's the reason why we are doing that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Can we have the question from this lady
Hi.
in the front?
Sorry, it was just one question. It's just I'm just interested in why, and it's an industry question in a sense, why here we don't have mobile phone companies tying up with makers in the sense of offering, say as they do in the West with, you pay $75 and you lock in. Because that does seem to power a lot of sales of handsets. And I just wondered, and I don't know about the effects on carriers, but for handsets it seems to be a major driver. I just wondered, because it makes them much more affordable, I just wondered why that model isn't possible here, or isn't, or whether it could be possible.
See, as I touched briefly during my address, unlike the developed nations of the West, the US and the European markets typically, where the ARPUs are in excess of $10 plus, Over here in India, we are kind of at the very lower spectrum of the ARPU. Now for an operator to subsidize the cost of the handset and recover the money over a period becomes extremely difficult considering that the ARPU is like $3. So even if I subsidize, let's say $1, over a 12-month, I can probably, cash back $12, which on the current exchange rate is about 720, 750 rupees. That kind of a subsidy will not actually unleash a great growth. On the flip side, if you see today, a 3G connectivity starts at about 250 or 300 rupees. So what over here they've subsidized is a value worth about 12,000 rupees a month that you're getting. So, in US, you would have got the hardware subsidized, but you would have had to pay the entire amount of the tariff, be it on the voice or the data side. In India, we still have the volume handsets available at very affordable prices. So we still are miles away from, buying 35,000 or 50,000 rupee devices on a mass level. We have the devices which are pretty affordable. It's actually the recurring monthly cost which is the concern of most of the consumers. In fact, the low adoption of 3G in the initial period was because of the higher tariff structures that the operator was forced to keep basis the very high spectrum prices. As the 3G tariffs have been lowered, you've suddenly seen a lot of consumer getting back on the network and accessing 3G speeds. So that's the worry point of the consumer, which we've tried to access in this partnership.
I'll just add on to this why another element happens. Like in the West, we are not a contract economy. 98% of the business is prepaid. On prepaid, you can't as an operator offer any subsidy to the customer because he's not bound to you. If you are a contract with him in the Western world where 98% of the people are on contracts, you can still give subsidies built into that plans. So that's the other difference which causes it very difficult for us to operate the Western model in all these Asian economies.
Thank you. Any more questions? This gentleman in the blue shirt. Okay, we'll come back to you.
Okay, I have a question. Are these benefits applicable for the new Aircel customers or the new Micromax customers with new Aircel connection? Like I'm having a Micromax handset and I'm not using Aircel. Like I buy the Aircel connection, then these benefits will get applicable to my connection or not?
This is being offered starting from a particular date. So we start off on 15th of September. So this is only for connections and handsets bought post 15th of September that these benefits are going to accrue. So it will not be available for consumers who are already either a Micromax consumer or an Aircel consumer. But having said that, what we're anyway doing is that we have a base of our 6 crore consumers where we are offering them a good range of Micromax handset at a discounted price. The moment any Aircel consumer buys a Micromax handset, he automatically starts getting these benefits. And in the reverse way, the moment any Micromax consumer who's maybe on a Vodafone or Airtel buys any Aircel connection, post buying a new handset, he starts getting these benefits. But it's not available for the base of handsets, which is, I think, too large for us to actually start considering.
Okay, thank you.
You had a question, sir? Can we have the mic here, please?
I would like to know about the duration of the agreement between the two. Like, is it for 1 year, 2 years, how long?
See, it's the intent. We are reaching out to the market. We are trying to understand the consumer behavior, the consumer traction for what we are trying to bring to the market. Does not say this is the final or the epitome of our partnership. We would be keen to take the learnings back to the drawing board and maybe even strengthen the partnership further. As Sunil and Anupam rightly said, this is a strategic partnership. We are really not putting a time frame to the expiry of the partnership.
I had one small query. In terms of subscriptions for Aircel and in terms of handset sales for Micromax, how will this scheme that you have recently launched on 15th of September, how will this benefit both of you in terms of handset sales and in terms of 3G Aircel subscription?
So Sunny, coming back to your point, The idea is slightly different. This is really not for the incremental sales that we're looking at. The idea is to create a long-term traction. At Micromax, we believe we've got a more than excellent hardware that we are putting in the market. At Aircel, the carrier partner believes that they have more than an excellent network which is on offer. So the idea over here is to bring an experience into the play, get the consumer to extract the best of the hardware, get the consumer to extract the best of the speeds on the network, and from here on, the device becomes an automatic choice for a new subscriber, and the SIM card or the connectivity again becomes a default choice of the consumer who's supposed to buy a new connection or an upgrade on a network.
From the Aircel's perspective, I think to just add on to what Vikas just mentioned, I think the challenge is for example, he spoke about 3 million subscribers coming in every month. Now, a particular percentage of them start using data from month 1. Intention is to ensure that a bigger percentage starts using data. So currently, just to quote specifics, we are around 40% of consumers start consuming data from the first month of usage. Our intention is to drive it upwards, maybe to our 60% odd levels, through piggybacking on a larger smartphone with a larger screen.
And you release it at, you're looking at 4 to 5 lakh device users per month, Aircel. So that is the target, and it is coming from Aircel, but we are unaware of Micromax target. That is not clear.
See, as I said, the intent is much bigger than 400,000 or 500,000. The idea is why not? I mean, Sunil shared that in his quiz session. Why not 3 million of Micromax acquisitions and 3 million of Aircel acquisition can be put together, and we can do something like this. So the intent obviously is to provide an experience. Aircel has come forward, given their excellent network on the Micromax devices. Micromax has come forward and give their entire range of devices to Aircel. So the idea is to create the best of the traction to have more and more consumers of this 3 million base of each actually getting together, and then further to that, the incremental growth happening by word of mouth and the new subscribers getting this offer.
Do we have another question? This gentleman at the back.
Hi, my question is for Aircel. Do you think 3G prices will go down further? And one more question is, see, Airtel has already started to provide 4G services in select circles. So how do you plan to compete with them in near future?
On 3G prices going down further, I think 3G prices are already the lowest in this country, in the world we have here. So I don't think prices will go down even further. I think the big driver for growth is prices of data, we believe, are already very low. The big driver for growth would be when video consumption comes in. Because if prices go down further, it will become difficult for telecom operators to start investing in more towers and investing in the experience of the business. As more and more handsets become available, people have access to video. That is what will drive the growth in our view dramatically. In fact, that's where the growth. So prices of 3G we don't see going down. 4G, yes, is a new emerging technology. There is a lot of ecosystem development at play at this stage. And I think we have, as a company, licenses in 8 circles. And we will, over a period of time, have a plan to address that market as well. So we are working on it. But 3G, 4G will emerge, will exist together as they have in the West. So we believe that in the next couple of years, you'll see more of action on that front.
The lady in the front has another question.
Hi, it was just to sir, it was about Micromax. You're sort of like the giant, you're seen as the giant killer in the Indian market, in the sense that you've got Samsung, you're chasing on the heels of Samsung. What would you ascribe the company's success to? What makes you a challenger for such a big worldwide player, do you think?
Hi. I think giant killer would not be the correct preposition.
Or not giant killer, but anyhow, you're up there with the big guys.
See, we've always believed there's a lot that can be done in the ecosystem. We've always loved to partner and grow the ecosystem together. Honestly speaking, at Micromax, we never make our targets in terms of taking the market share of a brand X or a brand Y. We believe in increasing the market and taking the volume share of that incremental market. If you see post Micromax entering into the so-called mobile handset space, the industry has also evolved dramatically. The ASPs have gone down, but the volume has grown up tremendously. And a sizable portion of that increased market is what Micromax has taken. If you see the genesis of Micromax, we were the brand who launched the dual SIM handset first. So that category didn't exist. We made that category, got a lot of other peers in the industry follow that up, grow that category, but yes, we owned a volume share of that category. So I think giant killers, that's not a preposition that Micromax would like to relate to, but yes, as a co-partner growing the industry, that's what we like to be known for.
Do we have another question? I guess that's it then. Once again, on behalf of Aircel and Micromax, I would like to thank you all so much for coming. Please join us for lunch outside. Mr. Jain, Mr. Vasudev, and Mr. Kutum are here for one-on-one interactions. Thank you all. Have a great day.